access to our pregnant whales, researchers had no solid way of knowing whether or not a female in the wild was carrying a calf.
Wow, now that's a lot of questions. Believe it or not, we get them every day.
We sure do. Now, killer whales vocalize using all sorts of different sounds. So let's listen to a few of them right here in front of us. And baby Amaya is starting to learn some of these sounds and mimicking the other whales. Good job, Kalia. Let's try another one, see if we can get Amaya to join in. It looks like she's not very talkative today, but don't forget, killer whales each have their own dialect or their own unique set of calls, but they also use body language.
Sometimes they blow bubbles. Sometimes they blow bubbles, bump into each other, or even scratch each other with their teeth, causing rake marks. These are the multi-line marks that you may see on the skin of some dolphins and killer whales. This is just one of the ways these animals display dominance over one another during social interactions, both here at SeaWorld and in the wild. We've just learned how killer whales vocalize and use body language to communicate with each other. But you remember how we communicate with them? That's right, through signals. Here at SeaWorld, we communicate with our whales, and we want the next generation to be able to do the same.
All right, now this is my favorite part of the show. This is where the audience gets to participate. We have two very lucky volunteers who are going to help us out and give some signals to our whales. We have Vianney right over here on the right-hand side with Summer and Nakai, and we have Elena over here on the left-hand side with Mike, Missy, Kalia, and Amaya. Now you guys are going to go ahead and give the animals some signals here, and let's see if they can get them. Looks like Vianney's going to give Nakai a big wave. He's going to wave right back with those big pectoral flippers. Very nice. All right, it looks like Kalia's got her hands up in the air. Kalia's gonna come on up. And let's see, oh! Good thing it's raining, you've already got your poncho on, that's nice. All right, Nakai's gonna, give Vianney a little shower there. Very nice. Kalia and Alina are gonna do a little dance, a little shake. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you two very much for being great participants here with us at Shamu Stadium. We want to give you these whale tail necklaces to help you remember your trip. And thank you very much for helping out with the whales today. Let's give it up for our volunteers, everybody.
Oh, here's another great question. Who takes care of you, Shamu? I love that question because it lets us give you a peek at how much we care for these extraordinary animals. Hey, Mike, is everyone ready?
Yeah, I believe we are ready. All right, this is the most important training that we do here at Shamu Stadium. This is called husbandry training. This is where we take care of the animals, and the animals actually participate in their own health care. So you can see right up here on the slide out, we have some of the whales giving us a tail flute present. Missy has Kalia right there, and there's actually a very good vein that runs right there by their tail flutes. And that's where the veterinarians can draw blood and even see if some of the females are pregnant. Now the slide out behavior that you see Nakai do up there on stage is not only impressive for you photographers out there, but this actually helps us weigh the animals. We have a giant scale in the back. We weigh them once a week to make sure that everyone's growing properly and that the babies are gaining enough weight. Now some of the high energy behaviors that you see in our show not only happen here at SeaWorld and also out in the wild, but these help us ensure that the whales are getting the correct amount of exercise. So, hopefully what you're going to see is we've got Kalia right over here. She's going to make a very small jump in the very corner of the pool. That's not the actual behavior. She's just getting enough height and enough speed to perform this high energy behavior. Here she comes right over there on the right hand side of the stadium. Very nice. Now focus your cameras to the center of the stadium. Here comes Kalia with what we call a V-spin. Excellent job, Kalia. Very nice.
I know that our guests may also wonder, how much does a killer whale need to eat every day to stay healthy?
Well, just like you and I, killer whales have very different dietary needs. Baby Amaya is only eating about 18 pounds of fish every day because she's still nursing from her mom, Kalia. Now, Amaya's dad, Ulysses, he eats about 185 pounds of fish every day because he weighs almost 10,000 pounds. So it really varies. It's important to note, though, that no matter what the whales do in their day, they're going to get every single amount of fish that they need each and every day.
Because we've been able to determine how much killer whales eat at different stages throughout their life, researchers in the field can use that information to determine if ocean habitats are healthy healthy enough for killer whale populations to thrive. And that kind of information is invaluable.
You know, food, exercise, and physical examinations from our veterinary staff aren't the only thing that the whales need to survive. We want to make sure that their minds are challenged and stimulated as well. Now, if you look up on the screens, we can provide the animals with a variety of what we call toys. They're basically things that are either made by the trainers, as you can see there. That's some fire hose tied together with some very large plastic toys. Now, you may not see us give those toys to the whales while you guys are in the stadium, because even though the whales really seem to enjoy them, I don't think any of you guys would like a 200-pound ball thrown your direction. Water's one thing, but a big heavy object is another thing. Now, you also see us give them kelp. We get that right here from Mission Bay, and the whales really love to play with that. We also make them unflavored and unsweetened gelatin. The whales really seem to enjoy. We can stick that onto the glass and all the various parts of the pool. We have fun trying to find that. Now, even with all the games and toys that we can provide the whales, the best enrichment still seems to be the interaction with the other groups in their pod and their team of experienced trainers.
Okay, how about a question for all the kids out there? I know you all want to know, who would win if the killer whale squared off with a great white shark? How many of you think the shark would win? Raise your hands. Okay, now how many of you think the killer whale would win? That's right, the killer whale. You see, a shark hunts alone, while a killer whale hunts with a pod of killer whales. So it's not even a competition. Killer whales have even been known to hunt a blue whale. Do you know how big a blue whale is? At over 80 feet, it's the largest animal ever to exist on the planet. But killer whales can hunt these huge animals because they coordinate, collaborate, and cooperate. They work together as a group to overcome challenges much bigger than themselves. We can learn a lot from killer whales about how to overcome the challenges our